Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war-winning author Mian Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mian Mosensia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mosensia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mian Mosensia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And don't forget to check out our merchandise at the MikeWagnerShow.com. And also check us out on the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And coming soon, you got the throw pillows, tote bags, pop sockets, and t-shirts and hoodies and a lot more. So make sure you check it out at the MikeWagnerShow.com, also on Amazon.com/the Mike Wagner Show. And for more great gift ideas, including great books by Mian Mosensia, go to Amazon.com/Mian Mosensia for great merchandise and order today. Yes, she's back by popular demand, and she returns once again. She's a world-renowned energy healer and teacher, and she's also, we talked about the book a great deal with My Freaking Journey to Loving Myself, and she'll tell you more and more. And last we talked about My Sacred Journal. We'll talk a bit more about that. And also, she's a leader of the Global Conscious Development Circle, and also has the podcast, which is getting a lot of popularity, the Guided Spirit Conversations, and Tuned In, just great guests and great conversation, everything else. And she's also the creator of the Scream Pillow. And I don't know if you want to top this or just have that. And I like what you got over there too. We'll have to have a pillow fight. And also during this time, 5 tips for self-care. I mean, getting through this pandemic, which for some places it's not over, for some it's somewhat. And of course, you still got to care for yourself. And the big news about the podcast, we'll talk about in just a minute. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios, in our beautiful studio somewhere in the United States, ladies and gentlemen, backed by popular demand, the well-known, renowned energy healer, teacher, and author of My Freaking Journey, Loving Myself, and the Sacred Journal, Marla Goldberrg. Marla, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us once again.
Hello, Mike. I'm so honored to be here again. I just love it. Thank you so much for having me back.
Holy cow. I think that was what? 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. I practically lost count, to be honest with you. I think I should put up a Hall of Fame. It's like have this, shoving over here. I'll start putting up a plaque and I'll put you in my Hall of Fame. So we just have
it's like the Johnny Carson show. You know how they used to say, "Oh, Joan Rivers was the guest host for 72, episodes." I was like, how many episodes do you bring Marla Goldberg back in?
Yeah. It's just like, how does Johnny do it? That's the thing. It's just like, does he really keep something mental? Does he have his animals do it? Does he have his, producers, guests, or maybe Don Rickles probably like, Joan Rivers? Yeah, I think you have about 68. No, you knucklehead, 75. or Ed McMahon says, well, I think she was on 100, but yeah, that was funny, Johnny. Oh my gosh. Boy, we can go on and on about the Tonight Show, and I just wish we could find a way to bring back Johnny Carson from the dead and Ed McMahon and just make it so better. It's like, I miss the Tonight Show very greatly, but thank God we have YouTube. We can watch anytime. So
it's so true. Actually, my husband and I do that. We put on the TV, and every once in a while we'll put on the Johnny Carson show, and it's amazing how talented he was. Just so amazing.
Mm-hmm. And of course, can you imagine Johnny Carson doing a podcast too? It's just like, imagine him doing a podcast and Ed McMahon, being on the side. They could easily overtake Joe Rogan, Charlie Kirk, or even say Howard Stern or any of the guys in the
Oh,
top 50, 100, 200 podcasts, and of course yourself. The big news, your Spirit Guide Conversations made the top 1% in the podcast. Congratulations.
thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it did. The top 1% of all podcasts listened to.
And of course, for those who are not familiar with Guide Spirit Conversations, and tell us a bit more, and how can we tune in?
So Guided Spirit Conversations is a live broadcast every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time. You can find it on voiceamerica.com. Going to the Empowerment channel, you can then look up Guided Spirit Conversations or Marla Goldberg with 2 R's in Goldberg, or you can go to my YouTube page or my Facebook page. I stream live on as well. And the Facebook page is Guided Spirit Conversations. If you missed the episode, YouTube has the same name. And then you can like, subscribe, and review the podcast.
And make sure you do it right now as we speak, or her spirits will be coming after you. So you make sure you do that. And we also talked about my sacred journals as well, too. You introduced that the last time, and tell us more about that once again. And how's that coming, by the way?
The journal is doing well. Look, I'm an advocate of journaling. So this journal was designed to support my effing long journey to loving myself, a guide to a shorter path, because journaling is powerful in your process to forgiveness, your process to self-love and acceptance. It's important for manifestation. So putting down your dreams, your hopes, your desires, and writing them in great detail. So you let spirit know what is it you want to bring to you.
Mm-hmm.
So journaling is so powerful in so many ways.
In fact, I should keep a journal of myself too, with how many guests I had on the show, including yours as well too. And yeah.
Well, over 600 interviews, Mike, and going strong.
Oh my goodness. It's like, here's a story. I have to say too, that this actually just started just to, brush up my skills. And I haven't done an interview in a long time. I've had bad experience with it. And I do got to say that I thought to myself one day, it's like, something is missing, something's wrong. And it feels like there's a huge hole in my heart that was just missing that, what's wrong here? What's like, why do I not feel so complete? I've had a few interviews before too, but then I did some practice ones where I had a lady who claims to be a football fan, and she just just grated everybody's nerves, saying that she beat everybody. I put her on my show, and actually it came out pretty good, just almost like a Jimmy the Greek female version. Did really well, and just
Wow.
opinionated and whatever else, and nobody complained. And then also had an actor from overseas who worked with Guy Ritchie in Game of Shadows, and opera singer, and just talking to a conversation. And I started with Sandy Hellberg, starring the Mike Wagner Show on KFYR. Here I was, it's probably like just fumbling, like here it was, and getting this, and and it had nothing to do with coffee. But then the first minute, it was like just talking to a friend, and everything just took off. So I guess they say too, if it's true that if you're really, really nervous about something, you're about to succeed. I think I'm right.
Yeah, I call it going through the fear of the veil of fear. Once you go through the veil of fear, you go, not so bad. I got through it. I'm alive, and people liked it.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. And of course, we also start off with my freaking journey to loving myself. And how's that book coming, by the way?
The book is good. The book is selling. It's helping people. I get lots of emails, asking questions and letting me know how much this has helped them with their process, with their
Mm-hmm.
journey.
And of course, you want to get more information about, her freaking journey. You can also go to the MikeWagnerShow.com and listen to a previous episode. You can go to her website on my freaking journey, and she'll continue her freaking journey. So we'll do so. And what's also coming up for you as well, too, in terms of books and projects and everything else.
So I'm working. So today, April 1st, I have launched a 30-day meditation challenge.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's to help people who want to get into meditating, but who haven't, who's not comfortable, or they can't calm their minds down. So I've done this 30-day meditation challenge that's launching today. And so you can go on my website, Marla Goldberg, and Goldberg has 2Rs.com, and look it up. And it's just going to be an evergreen offering, because you can't have too many guided meditations, in my opinion. Everybody comes at it a different way, but if your mind is active, focusing on what the words of the meditation helps you clear your mind so you're able to relax, ground, lower your blood pressure, just you have that chill thing come on you, or to just open up your space so that you can receive the messages that spirit gives you.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you ever asked yourself a question and then you went on doing whatever it is you're doing, and all of a sudden you're in the shower, you're driving your car, you might be washing dishes, and all of a sudden this answer comes to you?
It's happened before. Yes.
Yes, that is what I'm talking about. So meditation gives your mind the space it needs to be able to receive this guidance, because we're always getting the guidance.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a very active mind, it just there's no room for it to speak louder than the activity going on.
Mm-hmm. I've also had cases too where the answer just comes, better in the morning. I always tell people that if you're faced with a tough decision, like say, what car am I going to buy? What phone am I get? What computer should I buy? Or should we, get new windows or whatever? Or, should we go shopping for, little Johnny or whatever? It's like, if you're, stuck with these, it's like, they say that if you're stuck, they say you sleep on it, the answer will come better in the morning. And that is so true.
It does. I always ask a question before I go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I will get my answer. It might not be first thing in the morning. It might be when I'm in the shower walking my dog, but it comes at those quiet times.
Mm-hmm. And of course, quiet times as well too. And also, there's also some frustrating times, an unusual way to get them out as well too, and also simple techniques to change your energy, and rituals to keep you in mind, and some Q&A with loved ones we'll talk about very quickly here. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to a official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mian Mosensia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mosensia has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mian Mosensia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. Don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also on PayPal and Anchor FM. And for some great gift ideas, including this version of a scream pillow just like yours, you can scream into it any time, or you want to just lay your head, get your dog out. You can check these out on Amazon as well. And also coming soon to the MikeWagnerShow.com. And also for some cool t-shirts, hoodies, pop sockets, tote bags, and a lot more, just go to the MikeWagnerShow.com, click on the merchandise section, and also check out Mian Mosensia on Amazon for some great books and some great gift ideas. Amazon.com/Mian Mosensia. Make sure you order today, and your loved ones will thank you. We're here with Marla Goldberrg. She's a host of Guide Spirit Conversations and also leader of the Global Conscious Development Circle. And you know what? I think we talked about pillows. I forgot to ask you about your scream pillow, and tell us about that. I'm sure people are screaming about it.
So the scream pillow, people live so close together nowadays. I designed the scream pillow again as a tool that supports my book for people to muffle their screams. What was it? Back in the 70s, primal screaming was so popular because it allowed you to get your repressed emotions up and out. So the scream pillow allows you to do the same thing. You just don't make your neighbors aware that you're doing it.
Okay. You know something, since we're on Zoom right now, maybe we can give us a little demonstration here. So go ahead. It's like, I'm trying to think of something that gets you upset. It's like, I can't think of anything right now. So
all right. I'm taking the lipstick off.
That's machine washable, right? I just wanted to clarify that.
It is machine washable,
Oh, good. Okay.
but
All right.
I don't know if the lipstick will stain it or not. So
You say, I got lipstick on this thing.
I, well, see, I'm going to do this way. But here's the screen pillow.
Uh-huh.
You can't miss where you need to put your mouth. Okay.
Ah, yes, that's right. Okay. Put your money where your mouth is. That's right. So,
I mean, I love this because I had it designed because it's funny. It's a talking, it's a conversation piece, and it's you're able to use it. So here we go. You ready?
yes, all right. Plug your ears, guys. Here we go. Ah, oh, ah.
But it feels so good when you're done.
It does. Yeah. And where can people find your screen pillow at?
You can find it at my website, Marla Goldberrg with 2Rs.com. And then we will have it made for you and shipped out to you.
That sounds very good. And plus in especially in times like these, it's like you're with your neighbors, your loved ones, and everything else. You can all play some Q&A games as part of self-care as well too. And playing a game, and why is that so important?
Oh, playing games, it occupies your time. It can stretch your mind. It can bring curiosity up. My
Hmm.
husband and I play card games, not just like gin, but they have these cards with questions on them. So
Oh
we
wow.
have some for intimacy, to get to know each other. We have like, you should have known that, card games like that. So it keeps our mind stimulated. And especially this past year, we have been locked down, hanging in the house. You get really bored. And this way you can learn new things about each other, laugh, and, have a memory and
Hmm.
maybe start a new tradition.
Mm,
But
I see. And what are some of the new traditions you guys have started?
well, we go play gin rummy. We,
Uh-huh.
we do, we play 'em. We're both very, very competitive. And so and so we live in North Carolina, and when it's warm out we've got a fire table, and we put the fire table on in the cooler weather, or we sit outside, and we've been playing a lot of gin. We play that card game I was telling you about. Once in a while we'll do the intimacy, like the re-getting to know you, because in relationships a lot of times we just coast with our partners. Well, this is a way to start re-engaging and getting to know them on a deeper level, developing your intimacy.
Hmm.
And then what else have we done? Really, those are the games that we've played. He travels a lot, so I play a lot of my Candy Crush.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be the number one. I think I've got that, Cascade, Solitaire, and oh gosh, I think I got a few more. I'm at the look as soon as I wake that stupid phone up.
But I'm starting to get back into my artwork.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I do abstracts, acrylic and watercolor. And so I've been so busy, I haven't been able to do it. So
Hmm.
now I'm getting back into painting again. So I'm really happy about that.
Oh, nice. Okay. And do you have those on your website or are they for sale?
Uh, I have to go through what we've just moved, so I have to sort through what I have and what was sold. But you can see what I've done on, what is it, in Marla Goldberg Art on Facebook.
Marla Goldberg art on Facebook. That is a good place to go as well. So, and of course, you also have a lot of activities, and reading is also most important for self care. I mean, I think that's the most overlooked.
I think, well, it can really reignite your imagination, ignite your curiosity. I do a lot of books, audible books.
Hmm.
And so as I walk my dog, I listen to my books, and then I tend to forget to turn it off when I come into the house because I'm so engrossed in what I'm listening to. Because this way, it's a multitasker's dream, Audible.
Hmm.
Or, where they're reading the book to you and you can do something else, and yet you're still getting the information.
Hmm.
So I love that. But I'm also reading, I took this class about the male and female relationship dynamic.
Hmm.
And so I'm reading the he, then I have the she, then I have the we. So I just have lots of books lined up for me to dive into. But it's wonderful for expanding your mind, learning new things, and getting entertained. I mean, I'm listening to the Celestine Prophecy. That's one of the books I've got going, and it's a story with lots of information in it.
Hmm.
And so books, I love books. I always have as a child. I was one of those kids that had 10 books leaving the library, but they also had like 26 fonts. So
Oh
they
my gosh. I bet your librarian's like, you again. I think
and
I
I
did that
say,
too, where it's like I just took books out of the library. I like to go home, read, bring them back and everything. Then I got into records, I got into tapes, and then I also got into CDs for a little bit. And then along comes the internet, and it's like pretty much got your own library right in front of your computer. You got your library on your phone, and you also got your library. I mean, just about everywhere. You don't need to go to a library. So I
I
mean,
mean,
everything is all right here. And next thing you know, it'll be on your wristwatch as well too, like the Fitbits. They'll be like a Dick Tracy. I mean, whoever
well,
created
you
Dick
already
Tracy.
have that. You have Apple Watch, and music will come out of your Apple Watch. You can make phone calls. You'll talk on your phone, like that. It's crazy. Who would have guessed?
Exactly. And of course, credit the creator of Dick Tracy for doing all that. I remember reading the Dick Tracy comics. He's like, okay, Chief, what is it? They call it the Dick Tracy wristwatch. And who would have
Right.
thought that this is becoming a reality? It's just like I saw something on Facebook with the Jetsons. It's like they
I
said,
was going to bring that up.
yes, that's right. And of course, who would have knew that? I mean, were Hanna-Barbera that prophetic? I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, wait, how was it? Telemedicine. You had like conference calls. His boss is screaming at George Jetson through the TV screen, like bark, bark, bark. And then you got online workouts where Judy is doing her exercise with her trainer on TV. And then
Right.
what was it, online learning with the kid and teacher Astro, learning tricks through a TV screen. It's like, who knew this would have happened?
And Rosie could order groceries on a computer, just do and have them delivered. All
Oh,
of those things are coming true.
oh yeah, and of course you got that robot too that just comes over and says, "Here you go." Except the one part they missed were the flying cars. I don't think that's been developed. And the question is, when is it going to get developed? That's my
Well, it's
question.
being developed. It's
Uh huh.
actually being developed right now. But the
Really?
one thing you see as a woman, I like the part where they go and they put their face somewhere and their makeup gets put on, the hair gets done, and they don't have to lift a finger to do it. They just press a button of what they want and voila.
Really? That's interesting. I think should do a part where it's like, yeah, a guy sticks his head in, and, gets a trim, shave, and wash up and everything. It's like, oh no, I gotta go to a meeting. Stick a head in, 5 seconds, and out you go.
Wouldn't that be great?
Oh my gosh, I think there's a lot of people that could use that.
I know the woman's version and the man's version.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, and of course, most importantly as well too during these hard times, just simply be kind and just love one another. I think that is the
Yes.
most important.
I agree. I totally agree. It doesn't cost a thing to be kind, and it opens up a lot of doorways. You
Hmm.
know,
Oh, oh, it certainly does too. And of course, what do you got coming up? What can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Marla?
oh my, I don't, you know what? I'm in the process now of pulling back and reevaluating where I am and
Mm.
where I want to go and what I want to do. I have been writing articles that have been submitted to um, Global, what's it, Thrive Global, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, I'm so sorry that I can't remember the other periodical. Um, but I'm just starting to write more, which
Wow.
is which is different for me because I never considered myself much of a writer, and here I am writing article after article,
Hmm.
and it's just a great way of sharing
Mm-hmm.
to the audience and try to give people concepts that might spark them. My latest one is about curiosity, rediscovering your curiosity, because look it, when you're in your 20s and early 30s, when you get married, have a family, you are pulled in so many directions. You may be working, then you have to keep the house, then you've got to deal with the children and take them to all the activities, school, homework, and help them with the homework. And by the time you're done with your day, you just want to zone out in your mind, and you forget about being curious like you were as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And but when you reignite your curiosity, even if you have to schedule it in your calendar for a Saturday from, let's say, 1 to 3, you do something that expands your curiosity, even if it's watching children flying a kite or you
Oh,
flying your
wow.
own kite. I mean, do you remember how good you used to feel when you were able to get that kite up in the air and it stayed there?
Oh man. I remember that doing in Wisconsin too, up on a hill. It's like it's a huge accomplishment. And going by that hill, it's like you rode your bike down the hill and see how often you crash, and it felt good to crash. Or in the wintertime, you're on a sled and see how far you can fly and how far you can tumble and feel good about it, not worry. Or you ice skate, slip and fall, whatever else, as long as you don't go through the ice, it just felt so good. It's like, hey, I fell. And there's like it was a mark of courage too. It's like you rode your bike, you skinned your knee. It's like that's considered a badge of courage. It's like I think people shouldn't worry about getting hurt and all that. It's like consider it as a badge of courage. I mean, I wish I still had my scars, but it's like I think they're probably just buried deep somewhere.
Wow, they're there. They're absolutely there. But yeah, I it just let's expand our minds. Let's try things we haven't tried in a long time. Learn something new. People in the pandemic started making sourdough bread. So
Oh.
they started making sourdough starter, and it kept flying off the shelves, or yeast would fly off the shelves and flour because people were learning how to make bread.
Mm-hmm.
They were learning how to bake cakes, cookies, whatever it might be, as something new to do. And that not only smells good, feels good when you eat it, but it's an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
And you've done it, and it might open up the belief that I like to cook, or I like to bake, or I like to decorate
Mm-hmm.
cakes.
Right. And of course, we just have a bread maker too that we would put the ingredients in. We'd try just about everything and anything. And you actually save a lot of money too just by, making your own bread. I mean, that's just amazing.
What's better than a loaf of warm bread coming out of the oven, and you slather it with butter, and it's warm, it's soft on the inside, a little crunch on the outside. Oh, so yummy.
You should try something like that on your podcast as well too. It's like, offer them some bread too and, do it, through Zoom, and they can imagine as well too. Have a little cup of coffee and whatever else, and have some conversations over coffee and bread.
Oh my God. I'm not a huge bread eater, but every once in a while you go, oh, that is just so good.
Hmm. Right. Right. Exactly it. And of course, we're the Marla Goldberg here on the Mike Wagner Show. And there is one thing that people can do. They can also listen to the Mike Wagner Show. That's another thing people can do, right?
They can definitely listen to the Mike Wagner Show. And you've been doing the show since 2018. And I have to tell you, I was so impressed when I saw that you were named one of the top 50 podcasts worldwide last year. And not only were you named one of the top 50 podcasts, you were also named as the most sought after host by Hollywood Digest,
Hmm.
which is that's a huge accomplishment, Mike, on both ends.
Well, thank you very much too, and I also admire your, being your podcast making the top 1% as well too in your area. So I guess you can say that's pretty much a challenge for me being a top 1%, along my genre. But I'm not interested in, trying to accomplish like the top spot, overtake Joe Rogan. Well, Joe Rogan can have it. That's the whole thing. So I mean, for me, it's just basically just entertaining people, enlightening, encouraging, and I think there's another E to it. That was like part of the Warner Brothers mission statement. I think it was Jack and John Warner. It's like enlighten, encourage, entertain. I can't remember what the other E was, and I based it on that. I mean, look at all the negative media that we experience out there too. It's like
Yes.
they throw this, throw that, and this and everything else, and it's like my goal is just to keep it light, keep it simple, and entertain people. It's almost like Johnny Carson we were just talking about earlier too. It's just like,
Yes.
maybe the Johnny Carson show, but it's not all about Johnny Carson. It's all about the guest. And that's a whole thing I like to focus on too. And you had like the entertainers out there in the world. You had the Richard Karn from Home Improvement, Eddie Deason, and from Greece, and also that what was it, the Polar Express, Jim Peterick from the Ides of March. He was on the program, and I recently had I'm trying to think who I had that was big.
Billy
It was
McCoo and Billy McCoo, no, Marilyn McCoo and
Billy Davis Jr. Oh my
that's it.
gosh, yes. What a
How
sweet
fun.
couple. Yes. Wow. Oh, my heart just melted when I interviewed those two. I was just like, wow.
And to think, when did they come together? Their music started coming out in what, the 70s?
I think so, yeah. And they were they were part of the Fifth Dimension. That was from the 60s with Up, Up and Away. And then You Don't Have to Be a Star was a big one, but then it's like their focus was more they're pastors of a church, and they had a couple of songs out, and they wanted more focus on music and what they do and everything, and instead of them. That was a big thing. And we also had quite a number of authors on there too. And also, of course, with you being part of the 600 guests and
Oh,
being very popular. Yes, I'm looking forward to have you on. And yes, I'm keeping track as we speak here. And I had a great jazz guitarist, Frank Piumbo. He was terrific. And
oh,
if you heard him, and he loves to play. He was passionate, was my earlier guest. Billy Craig from Brownsville Station. He loves to rock it. So he was part of that. And I just wish I had a list. But the thing is, it's just what's most important is that getting people out in the spotlight, who they are, what they do, and their stories and everything. It's like I'm more interested in them and what they got to offer instead of being interested in myself. So basically, my job is to get them out there and just show them who they are, what they do, and just give them a great story. That's the whole thing. You got to give them a great story.
and you do so well at that.
Hmm. And of
And
course,
highlighting your
the
guests.
and the lady you work with, Laura Rico, she was a guest on the show, and she was terrific. I'll tell you,
Isn't
she was
she
terrific.
amazing?
Oh, a big shout out to Laura as well, too. And
Yes.
we love you. Yes.
Mwah. We do love you, Laura.
Yes, we do.
So,
We love you. Yes.
and
We love you.
Raquel.
Mwah.
Now, and we have to now love, give love to Raquel Brusolo.
Yes. Yeah. Raquel, she just joined the staff too, and
She
she's
did
done an
about five
amazing
months
job.
ago.
Right. Yes. And then Taylor Ledden, who was on before that, and
Yeah.
had her
Oh,
on the show
love
with that book.
Taylor.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, she had that great book about the scrapbook, and I still put some stuff in there. It's amazing.
She is just such a sweetheart and she's doing so well. And I'm so, pleased that she's going down the track, the trajectory of her life that she wants to go down.
Hmm. Yes, yes, exactly it. And there's just a lot of others too. And of course, I'm sure some names will pop up later on, throughout the show as well too. And there was also another one who got really good attention was Kat Kramer from the days of classic Hollywood. And she talked about the golden age of Hollywood. She was with Lily Tomlin, and I guess her
Mm.
godmom was Katharine Hepburn, and talked
Wow.
about that. Yes, and then Mel, and also interviewed villains as well too. Mel Novak, he was in a couple of Bruce Lee movies and always played the bad guy, but you got to know him. Just a sweet guy. I mean, it's so amazing how people like play these villains are always bad guys, just sweet guys. I mean, Vincent Price. You remember watching Vincent Price
Oh
movies?
my God. Yes.
Yes, Vincent Price. And here's like Vincent. I think he's always an evil guy, but he's such an intelligent, artistic guy. He was actually a painter, and
Yeah.
just did art. And he just happened to walk into acting by accident, just make a little extra money, and here he is. It's yes, it's a good evening.
No, that his voice was amazing, Vincent Price.
Wow.
So
Sometimes I
incredible.
wish I had that, but I'd rather have mine. Thank you. I'm not here to imitate anybody. I'm just here to create my own. So if you're wondering, it's like, who do I sound like? Who I look like? I say, nobody.
Mike Wagner.
Yes, thank you.
Mike Wagner. That's who you sound like. That's who you look like. That's who you are.
That's right. That's right. And I've been doing it for quite some time. Yes.
So you've had such a colorful background. I was reading about you, and I want your people to know, your listeners to know that you started broadcasting in 1982, starting out at the Harper College, WHCM Harper
Right.
College in Palatine, Illinois. Were
Yes,
you
that's
going
right.
to school there?
I was going to school there, and I was actually going to get into journalism because I was actually training to be a sports writer. Because it would have been nice to work at a radio station, play music, but that was like back in my head. I was more of a sports fanatic, to be quite honest with you. And growing up in Milwaukee as well too, and in Racine, that I got hooked on the Green Bay Packers because my dad put a transistor radio right by my crib trying to get me asleep, and then
Oh,
he also
no,
had
really?
and they had the Milwaukee Brewers, and then I later became a
Yeah.
Cub fan and a Blackhawks fan. My dad took me to a game, and then I got hooked on that. And of course, the Bulls, the Bucks, and of course, I'd followed the Bears for a little bit because the Packers were still bad at the time. And then all I cared in the '70s was like how many fights you get in, and who gets kicked out of the game, who throws down who. It's like it got to a point. It's like how many fights you watch. So I just had that, and I cover a lot of sports games at play by play, and I'll get on some sports shows and talk sports and everything like that. And then I just happened to fall into a radio station. I was going to get ready to do computers, and eventually none of those worked out, but radio just became the big thing for me. It's just I've done a lot, and
You
amazing.
went to Carbondale?
Yes, I did. Southern Illinois. Everybody thinks party school, but really, I was just down there for just 2 years, focusing on radio, TV, worked a number of stations, and I basically just did my classes, study at night, and then weekends I took on some radio stations, and then I just party like everybody else. But I didn't do it excessively though, so that was just a big thing for me. In Southern Illinois, it was ranked number three back in the day, behind Texas and Oklahoma. It was also number one in the state too for Illinois. It's also the cheapest. So a lot of my friends from WHCM went. My best friend Marty Fullen talked me into it. There were quite a few others, and I simply said, I'm going. I'm getting away from Chicago just to have a little fun in Carbondale. So that was a lot of fun.
It's a beautiful place, Carbondale.
Oh yes, amazing. I mean, I wish I could go back down there just to see how it was. I compared 40 years ago. Unbelievable.
I used to live in Memphis and I used to drive past, through Carbondale, and there's this great barbecue place right off the I.
Hmm.
I don't know if it was there back when you were there, but it was amazing. I had to stop there all the time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I haven't got down to, Memphis yet or anything like that, but we came close. We're in Paducah, Kentucky, Cape Girardeau, and we did some mission work down in Carroll, Illinois. And I got to go down to the point. You see like the Ohio and the Mississippi coming together. You saw what Missouri on one side and Kentucky on the other. Said this is my idea of like, just perfection, just, you know, watching two states and being one state at the same time. That's what
Yeah,
I really got out of it. Yes.
it's amazing. It truly is. Well,
Hmm.
I mean, if in Illinois, you just go, an hour one way, you're in Wisconsin, hour the other way, you're in Indiana.
Hmm. And that's the best part too. My dad actually worked as a regional manager for Mobile Oil, and he had to travel three states in one day. And he got so fed up, we ended up moving to Huffman State so he can be just like in between. And we got more into Chicago and everything else. So that was like an interesting journey. I've been through Indiana, but we go to Wisconsin more than anything else. Sometimes sneak over the border, just get a beer at 18 or something. That was like my days.
See, I didn't do that. I just took my sister's driver's license.
Oh, really? Where are some of your favorite places in Wisconsin to go to?
Oh God. So I got married at the Hobnob in Kenosha,
Hmm.
Wisconsin. Do you know if you know about supper clubs? That supper club
Yes,
opened
that's
in
right.
1954.
Wow.
Yeah, and my now husband took me there for dinner one night, and we were going to be, have a big hotel wedding, and we changed it to have it at the Hobnob. I said, no, this is where I want to have it. It's right on Lake Michigan. So there's the windows that overlook Lake Michigan. And what was fabulous for us is we didn't plan it, but it was a full moon, and it just came together beautifully.
Hmm. And it's beautiful as well too, because one time we went to a supper club. We're trying to find something to eat. Late at night, go on Route 14, and we're looking for a place. It's like can't find. And here's like a little shack, which is like barely lit. And it says, "Okay, we're so hungry." We go in, and it's just beautiful, almost like a five-star resort just inside. And we just had pan-fried chicken and just fries in a frying pan. It was delicious. Just pan-fried chicken, plain and simple. It was great.
Have you been to TG's in Kenosha?
TG's, it's oh gosh, it's
Or
been a
TJ's,
while.
TJ's, TJ's,
TJ's, yes. Oh my
TJ's.
gosh. That is one heck of a place. I love that. So
Oh my God, that was opened, I think, in the late 50s, early 60s. Kennedy had a meal there. John
oh
F.
wow.
I think it was John F. had a
Mhm.
meal there, or was it Robert? Anyway, they've had celebrities. It's been there forever. The best beef sandwiches.
Oh yes. That
I'm
is the
sorry.
best. That is the
Yeah.
best thing. Yeah. And I think if you go into Racine as well, too, yeah, the Pied Piper, pancake house, that was well known for that. And you had the Kringles. It's like, like a dish, but it's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah, the Kringles, that's what's best known for it. So,
Especially at Christmas time.
wow. Yes. And I always go for the cherry one, believe it or not. I just go for cherry every single time.
Really?
Yes. Yes. It's amazing.
Well, we'll have to send you some next Christmas, Mike.
Oh, I can use some. Yes, bring back my childhood in Wisconsin. So I think that's what we need to do is relive childhood before we go on. That's the whole thing. So
Right. Do the things, eat the things that tickled you, that made you laugh, that made you go, that was so good.
yes, it
That
does.
brought
That's
back the
right.
memories.
Yes. Oh my God, man. I'm just oh, it's all coming back to me now. It's just thank God we still have a memory. So yeah.
Yeah. So one of my favorite places was Superdog. Were you ever at
Oh yeah,
Superdog?
Super Dog. I think that was in Niles or something or
It
oh,
was in Chicago, but it was on Nagel and Milwaukee, right on the
Nagel and
border of
Milwaukee, yeah.
Niles.
Yeah, we did have that super dog, and that was just amazing too. And I think there was also Demon Dogs that's over by DePaul University. We had
Yeah.
that. And of course, we had the hot dog place in Hoffman Estates, Hippos right by my old alma mater, Kona High School. It's like there were hot
North
dog places all over Chicago. I can't find.
Northwestern had one that was very well known.
Okay, yeah, I think I
Oh,
might went through Evanston once or twice. My dad took me to a football game because we won free tickets. The Wildcats were so bad. It's like I think after like maybe two quarters, we just
keep
left. It's
going.
like, oh
Mustard's
God,
last stand.
Custer's last stand. Yes, yes.
Mustard's last
Oh,
stand.
Mustard's last stand. Okay, all right,
Get
got
it?
that. So,
Mustard, hot dog stand.
yeah. Oh my God, I mean, just bring back some memories here.
I know. When I fly and I come back, I'm always bringing back Garrett's popcorn for people.
Garrett's popcorn for people. Huh, that's interesting.
Well, as gifts, because they have
Mm-hmm.
it at the airport. Do you remember Garrett's? People would stand in line around the corner to buy their Garrett's popcorn.
Uh-huh. Yes, yes. Garrett's popcorn. I remember that. Oh my gosh. And I think we might have something similar too, but it'll come to me later, I'm sure. So
We've gone on the Chicago food kick. And well, Chicago has great food. It's iconic.
mhm. And of course, pizza as well, too. That's part of my radio career. It's just like, I gotta have the pizza when I'm on the air. I gotta have something to drink. It's like I gotta have my pizza. Otherwise, I'm just a crabby little you know what.
Which one was your favorite?
Oh, Lou Malnati's, hands
Yep.
down. Yes. And
Yes.
then you had Rosati's, which is thin. Yeah, Jake's, and I think there was a couple others. It's
There's Uno's
yes, Pizzeria
and
Uno,
Due
Pizzeria
and Due.
Due. Mm-hmm.
And then the one on Clark Street that actually is an upside down pizza. They cook it in a ball with the dough on top and then they flip it over at your table.
Oh my gosh. I
Do you,
haven't been to that one yet, but
oh my God.
but then when I come up and meet some old friends of mine, like taking a Cubs game or something, if we ever
Mm,
get tickets or pandemic, then we'll have to go to that. So and
yeah,
also taking some yum yum donuts too before a game too, right by Wrigley Field.
yeah. Oh my God. So many great iconic places that are still around.
Whew, man, makes you want to come back. That's the thing.
Well, it does. And it's something that you just talk about these food items, these places to go because of all it brings. Were you ever at the Wiener Circle?
The Wiener Circle. I think I might have been there. I'm trying to recall the Wiener Circle.
So it's on Clark and Wrightwood, and
Hmm.
it's open till like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. And the later it gets and the more drunk everybody comes in, the more belligerent the people behind the counter serving you are.
Oh my
You know,
God.
and they get into it with you. I used to live down the street, so my Saturday stop was getting a grilled Polish every Saturday. But it was just it's been there forever. It became very iconic.
And of course, the drunk's like, you want fries with that?
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
and they give it as much as the drunk people give it to them. They give it right back, and they're swearing, and it's all of that.
Boy, I'm just making up a list right now on what we got to get to. So we have that. So
You're so funny.
oh my God. Yes, that's right. That's right. And of course, we're here with Marla Goldberg here on the Mike Wagner Show. We're powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. And brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author, Me Emotions You Have Missing. Check it out on Amazon and paperback and ebook. And of course, we're here with Marla Goldberg as well, too. And I guess we're just talking about a little bit of radio and a little bit of food as well, too. It just all comes together. It's amazing.
Well, two Midwesterners. I mean, you were, brought up in Milwaukee, Racine, and Hoffman Estates. I was brought up in the city of Chicago.
Hmm.
So, I mean, little did we know when we met a year ago that we had that connection, the Midwest connection.
Hmm. That's right too. And of course, thanks to the internet and it goes deeper as well too. So that had to be amazing. Yes.
So true. Brings back those memories. Well, as I was talking about the inner child, right?
Hmm.
It's those times you just start remembering when you were curious, the things you used to do and the fun you used to have.
Mhm. And of course, inner child as well too. Listening to the radio too. Listen to WLS, WC, Super CFL. Larry
Oh,
Lujak and the Animal Stories with little snot nosed Tommy Edwards, and I worked with a guy that was an engineer at CFL, and there was a war going on between WLS and WCFL where people break into each other's studios, play pranks, steal stuff, and whatever else. It's like, oh, they're just swapping stories just like crazy. It's like it was an ultimate zoo, working at those stations. Oh my God.
yeah. They were pioneers. They were pioneers of rock and roll and the rock and roll station.
Hmm.
The top three song countdown every night.
Yes,
Which
that's
was that?
right.
Was that WLS or WCFL?
Um, I, I think it might have been one of them both. I can't remember, but if I don't like what's going on with those two, I'll switch on at night with a little radio that I got, from one of my dad's friends, which really sparked my curiosity. Was a little weather radio, but I use it to pick up AM stations. I pick up a top 40 in Little Rock, Arkansas. I think it was what was it WOAI or something like that. It was like top 40, and it just came through crystal clear, and they were just partying it up like crazy in Arkansas. So I picked that up. Then I pick up stations in St. Louis, Detroit, Des Moines, Minneapolis,
Wow.
Boston, Nashville, and Cincinnati, WSAI. It's like wonderful sounds and information. I picked up a lot of stations. Nowadays, you can just pick up online. It's like, listen to a little AM. It's like, you just get your car radio like 2 in the morning. What can I listen to? And you can pick up some stations you never heard before. This is amazing.
It's so amazing. And I think it's great that considering that these radio stations are able to stay alive with Sirius and with Panda and all those other stations that are streaming their music, but these radio stations, even FM as well as AM, are staying alive. And I'm really happy because I would hate for those to go to the wayside.
Mhm. And plus, too, AM is much more important these days with the ever changing conditions. Like if a tornado were to hit, I mean, FM stations wouldn't survive, neither with the internet or satellite or anything like that. The towers are just so huge, so strong, and so tall. They could withstand just about anything. And they're also very vital when it comes to getting the news, getting information, what to do if a tornado hits, and civil emergencies. And, especially when you have the power outs, like have a little hand cranked radio or make sure you got fresh batteries and keep it on an AM station to give you instructions and where to tune in, where to go for shelter and everything. That's why radio has stood the test of time, all because of that.
It's needed, it's necessary, because how many times have you gotten stuck in a storm and not know, like if you're going to be able to make it home or not,
Hmm.
especially in
Exactly.
the Midwest.
Exactly. And I think the year we moved into a new place outside Bismarck, there was like a green atmosphere, almost like lime green, just going through like a lime green sky. And it turned out
Oh,
to be a tornado, which almost blew our house over. But then that activity took place at a state park, which is like maybe 5, 10 miles away. And we're like, "Phew, that was the closest we ever experienced to a serious tornado." We all had to go downstairs and bring the radios with and necessary food and everything else in the basements. Like, you got to learn. It's like, you got to learn how to cover too. So,
it's so true. You do. And yeah, it's always good to make sure you've got your supplies.
yes,
Because
that's
this is
right.
tornado season. We're going into hurricane season on the East Coast, tornado season through, and it's interesting how it's changed.
Hmm.
The weather belt has changed, where it used to be Oklahoma, Arkansas, which was Tornado Alley.
Uh-huh.
And now it's going to areas, Alabama, Georgia, areas that really were never hard hit with tornadoes.
Isn't that something? And we're living in these times as well, too. So, that what you're doing is very important. What we do is important. So we got to keep that up. That's the whole thing.
It's true. And it's good to want to keep, to help motivate, inspire people, to give them insights into something or someone they might not have known before.
Hmm.
I mean, it's amazing how many people I've learned about listening to other people's podcasts.
Hmm. Exactly. Yeah. And of course, with you being the top 1% as well, too. And of course, another question is that you have it on Saturday mornings, we've noticed. And what are some of the other times that you have it on, and any plans to expand or maybe some other offshoots of your podcast and more?
So my podcast, the first time it goes live is Thursday at noon Eastern time. It does have a replay on Voice America on the Variety Channel on Sundays at 12 noon Eastern time, but it'll always be on my website, Marla Goldberg with 2 R's in Goldberg.com, or on my YouTube channel, which is not Marla Goldberg, Guided Spirit Conversations. So
Okay.
all my past episodes are on there that you can find.
Hmm. And of course too that now you can find those on various podcast platforms. You can also check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com on over 30 podcast platforms: Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Also heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and the YouTube channel. And once again, a reminder, everybody, make sure you take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And by the way, Marla, you do such a great job of it, following me all around.
Well, I just so enjoy you, Mike, and you still are the fastest talker I know.
Do I need to slow down just for you, or do you have to have spirits and say,
No,
come on, listen, listen, listen?
no, I have to tell you, I sit in awe watching you, listening to you. You don't flub, you just, and I know it's from years of experience, but it's to me, I'm just awestruck by how well you do that. I aspire to do that with the way you do.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm just a normal person like everybody else, and I think we were talking about Mel Brooks the other day, and in Spaceballs where they had that segment where it's who's it instead of yoga, who's it, yogurt or something, and then they go, yoga the wise, yoga the magnificent, yoga the all knowing. Goes, I'm just plain yogurt. Knock it off. Just being a regular person. I think there's another part in the movie too, which I remember, and all these people are like, here he is, and they all bow down, worship. He goes, stand up. I'm not the Pope. Oh my
It's
God.
But it's true, and it's great that people love what you do, but we're human beings and we go through the same thing they do, and that's why we're so relatable, I feel.
Hmm. And of course too, it's okay to make mistakes. It's actual conversation. It's not all this reality stuff where it's like you think it's reality, but it's all scripted, and you have to act a certain way, do a certain way, whatever else. And you cough, sneeze, and cats jump in front of you, dogs want to jump up on you, kids walk in, and whatever else. And I had cases where it's like animals walk in and say, "Oh, we have a special guest." So yeah, that's what makes it a lot more fun. And I'm seeing it on a lot of the YouTube where he had newscasters and doing from home, and they were like, mommy, I'm doing a newscast. I'm like, let the kid do something. Wait, it's like, give him 15 minutes being on national TV, and who knows? I mean, listenership, viewership could go up if you had that kid on NBC or something. So
You don't know. You don't know what you
Exactly,
don't
you're right.
know.
Hmm.
And look at kids and animals always steal the show.
Oh my gosh, yes, and I'm sure.
Always.
And I'm sure you probably get maybe some unexpected animals coming on your podcast, or like say somebody else comes in and get them on the show to encourage you by if something drops in by accident, have fun with it. That's awesome.
Well, my dog Tug is 110 pounds, and you can hear him barking once in a while. He's applauding me in his own doggy way. That's how I look at it.
And does a really good job of it too. That's amazing.
He bays. He just like, oh.
Aroo. That's right. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we got to do this again sometime, Marla. We got to do this again. So,
I love being on your show. Thank
oh,
you so much.
oh, definitely looking forward to having you again soon. And once again, where can we find you? Where can we find your book? Where can we find your podcast? And where can we find all your great stuff at, Marla?
So my podcast, Guided Spirit Conversations, is at voiceamerica.com, the empowerment channel. And then you can look it up as under Guided Spirit Conversations or Marla Goldberg. Goldberg has 2 R's. Or on my Facebook page of the same name, Guided Spirit Conversations, or the YouTube page, same name, Guided Spirit Conversations. Find me at Marla Goldberg. Again, Goldberg has 2 R's.com. And you will see all that I do. I have a brand new website, so I'm loving it. It's so beautiful in my favorite hue of purple and hues of purple.
Oh,
Um,
yes. My wife's favorite color is like an offshoot of purple. I think it was a magenta or something. Oh, it's beautiful.
mhm, lovely. And you can find my books, Guided Spirit Conversation and my Sacred Journal on my website and on Amazon.com. And my screen pillow you can find on my website also.
And certainly as well too, we got to exchange some time as well too. Hey, this makes great gifts too, including Christmas, birthdays, and whatever else too. So,
Mother's Day,
oh my
Father's
gosh, mother.
Day.
Oh, I forgot about that. And Father's Day. It's like if you had up to here with kids, or
Did you ever see that Steve Martin movie with Queen Latifah bringing down the house?
I think I've seen that. Yes. Oh my
And there's
gosh.
a sign where his daughter starts admitting all these things that she's doing because she's 15 and
Hmm.
starting to get out there. And Queen Latifah saying, "Now don't just listen, don't get upset." And he goes in his room and he takes the pillow and screams.
Oh, how cool is that? How cool is that?
Yeah, now I just need to have my pillow placed in there.
There
And
you go. That's a good thing. So don't forget to check out Marla Goldberg on all the websites as well too. Let's do it again very soon, and make sure you keep us up to date. As always, you've been fantastic. Looking forward to him soon, and you're definitely in my Hall of Fame. You've got to keep in touch, or otherwise we'll have to make you come out. So,
I've never been to Bismarck, North Carolina, North Dakota. So,
oh, a Bismarck, North Carolina. I didn't know that. I guess we'll have to start a town somewhere.
well,
Except
there is a Denver, North Carolina. So no, there might be a Bismarck, North
and,
Carolina.
and a
But
Bismarck, Illinois too. I found out. So, well, we'll
is
talk.
there?
Well, yeah, there is. I looked up. It's like Bismarck, Illinois. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, but well, that'd be another subject as well too. So yeah, we'll definitely have you back on soon, and we'll talk more and everything. And again, you've been terrific, and let's do it again.
Thank
Let's keep
you,
in touch.
Mike.
And you've been great.
You too. Thank you.